Hi there, it's Cheryl, and I have one last Valentine's Day card for you. And this one has, as you can see, it has lots of dimension. It's got flowers, it's got lace, it's got embossing and stenciling. It's got just about everything I could think of on this card. And then the inside is like this. So let me tell you what we're going to be using today. And oh, I have my coffee sitting here. Let me move that out of the way so I don't spill it on everything. Let's start out with the inks that I've used. I use the Mossy, Meadow, or if you still have Always Artichoke, that will work also. Use Lovely Lipstick. Balmy Blue. I have my Take Your Pick tool out here. I'm going to be using that. A ruler. I have some sponges, a sponge dauber. I have some little rhinestones and a spritzer. I'm going to need a pen. Let's see, I'm going to need scissors too. Let me get those out. I have my Nuvo Embellishment Mousse, and this is, let's see, it's pure platinum. I'll be using that. I have my Dries Clear, Art Glitter Designer Dries Clear Adhesive, and my Tombow. Both of those. And I've got a whole bunch of other things too. Let me get this pile in here. We're going to be using some vellum paper to make our flowers. And you'll need a piece that's about 4 by 6. I have some soft seafoam. You'll need a piece about 6 by 3. And we'll be using these dies and a stamp, just the leaf stamp, from the Classic Rose from Heartfelt Creations. So we'll be needing one of these cut from vellum, a whole set of these cut from vellum, and then just this one side here. 1, 2, 3, those 3 flowers right there cut from vellum. And then this we'll be using to cut our leaves and little viney things out. I love those little viney things. Then, moving on, we'll need a piece of, hold on, we'll need a piece of Whisper White. I used the heavyweight for the card base, and this is 10 by 7 and scored and folded 5 inches. So we're making a 5 by 7 card. I have 2 pieces of Balmy Blue. Uh-oh, I just dropped a die. One is 6 1/8 by 4 1/8. The other one is 5 7/8 by 3 7/8. And let me grab that die. So from a piece of cardstock here, I cut out this die from, this is let's see, this is one of the Holtz Alterations dies. And let me see if it tells me what it's called on here anywhere. Mixed Media number 2, maybe? But it has these 3 different dies in it. And let me show you the other ones too. Let me get that out so you can see that a little better. So we're using this one to make a stencil. But it also has this one and then like cherry blossoms. So it's a nice little set. Put that away in the package here because I already have my stencil made. And we'll be also using, this is a new textured impressions embossing folder. It's called Lace. So it's one of the dynamic ones, so it's super thick. Be using that. That's from Stampin Up. And then from Heartfelt Creations, the intricate swirled frames, I cut this piece right here out. I used that. That's the biggest one in the set. So it's the biggest frame. And I cut that from a piece of 5x7, the Mirri cardstock that I got. It really does have a mirror finish on there. So I'm going to put that off on this side because we need to do a little bit more work on that. Well, might as well do that right now. Let's do that right now. Okay, so I have this really nice big piece right here in the center. I'm not going to waste my good foil cardstock, so I'm going to take a ruler, and if you have one that has the cork on the back, that's even better. And just with a box cutter, and I'm cutting on I'm cutting on a box. I'm just going to get this started here, cutting that. Let me see if I got through there. I'm just cutting along the inside. There's two lines of the stitching here. I'm just going to cut along that inside one. There we go. I think I got a nice cut on there now. If you have a cutting mat, that would be great to use too. I have one, but mine is like a really huge one, so it's not easy to move around. So I'm just going to finish cutting out along that line with my scissors now that I have a nice slit in it. And I can save this piece now for something else. There we go. And this one we'll keep because we'll be using that. Then, from a piece of lovely lipstick, you don't need a very big piece of that. Just like a 2x4 1/4 piece, just enough to cut this die out. That's where we're going to get all our cute little hearts from the front. And from a piece that's about, let's see, this is just Whisper White, and it's about 2.5 by 2.5 piece you'll need. And this heart was from Meant to Be. Well, all these hearts are from Meant to Be. And I got the bundle here. So we used, you saw the multiple heart ones. We're going to be using this heart right here. See where that goes in there? It's the smaller size, but it's the one that does not have scallops on it. We'll be using that one. And then, oh wait, that's wrong. We will be using the one with the scallops on it because that just has a stitched edge. This has the cutting edge. I'm so glad I saw that right now. So we'll be using this scallop die. So the medium sized one, there's a little tiny one there too. And we'll be using the large one too. So this we will use to cut out a piece of Whisper White. I just dropped my little multi-hearts on the floor, so let me put that there, back on this piece of magnetic sheet. Then also from this stamp set, we're going to be using this little tiny heart right here. Okay, so just that little tiny heart, that's this one right here. Little itty bitty one. And that's it from this one. Then from Heartfelt Creations, Heartfelt Love Sentiments, I'm putting I Love You on the front. So I have that mounted here on a stamp block also. And then from, where did this one go? This was from, here we go. Forever Lovely. I'm going to use this stamp for the inside. I'll love you until the day after forever. And then it has a little Happy Valentine's Day greeting there also. That I already have mounted on my, on my Stamparatus. That's all lined up and ready to go. And that's it. So, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to do my die cuts. I'm going to do these, and I'm going to do my hearts, and on our larger piece of Balmy blue, I'm going to cut the big heart out on this piece. I'm going to have that centered side to side, but I want just a little bit more room down the bottom here, so I'm going to have that just a little bit towards the top. So that will be cut from the center here. And I'll also take this piece, and while I'm over with Mr. Big Shot, and I'll run it through my textured impressions plate here. And when I put that in, I can slide that right up to the top, but I want to have my design centered on the card here. So I'll move this around, and there we see, now it's pretty well centered. I can adjust that a little bit. So you just want, we want this row of, let's see, maybe you can see it better on here. See, it's got like rows of lace with these little rosettes down the middle. We want it lined up with this one right here. And then have that right down the center of our paper. So I'm going to go away. I'm going to do all that stuff with the Big Shot, and I'll be right back. And now we can put our flowers together. They're all shaped. There's our nice little leaves. They're all shaped. I'm going to put those aside with the rest of the card pieces. Now I'll start with the big one. So I'm going to use, this is the next to the largest flower. Then we're going to use the next smaller one, and then 2 of the next smaller ones. So this is so easy. Put a little dab of my art glitter glue, and I'm just going to press that in the center. Let me get a good press with the stylus. There we go. And the next one. And when you're putting these down, you want to have your leaves or your petals staggered. You don't want them all stacked up right on top of each other. That's why I like this glue. The only thing better than this glue for putting pieces into place and having them stay there is a glue gun. And my last piece right there. Give that a little, just a little poke. Now I'm just going to poke a little bit harder just to pop the petals up a bit. And we need a little glitter here. So this is the end. This goes on here, but I'm just going to use it like this in my hand. And pick off one of these little rhinestones. Oh, I didn't cut them apart. Let me snip those. They have a little connecting thing there. And if you want to put a nice line of rhinestones, that's a good thing. But I don't want to do that right now. I want to put just a little rhinestone in the center. And there we go. That's one flower done. And do the other two. Same idea. Just put a little glob there in the center. Offset your flower petals. Poke that down. Another little glob of glue in the center there. Offset this bunch of flowers, or this bunch of petals. And I could give that just a little poke there. And we'll give it a rhinestone, just like the other one. Da, da, da. Get this little rhinestone here. Come on, little rhinestone. Get on that point there. I can just place it in there. There we go. That's two flowers done. And the last one. We're getting close to being able to put the card together. All we need to do now, I think, is just cut our craft foam. Give that a little poke. And a rhinestone. Oh, get in there. We need you right in the center there, little rhinestone. There we go. So that's it for the flower shaping. Easy peasy. I'm going to cover up my glue here. Okay, so let me bring in the craft foam here. Pearl, stop, please. Stop. And I'm going to lay this on here. This bit. I'm going to lay that on here. And I'm going to move it to the side just a little bit. Let me show you from the back. You see, so I have it in about 1/4 inch from the sides here. And use my pen. And I'm going to just trace around that. And we'll cut that out. Just inside that inky line, because just in case we happen to be able to see it, which we should not have to see it. We won't, because it'll be on here. So now we have this piece. I'm going to put this piece back on top here. And check all around the sides, make sure I don't see that foam, and I'm going to use my pen and just trace on the inside of this heart. And we're going to cut the heart out. So I can just stick my scissors right in there like that. And we want to be outside of that heart. And when you get up here to the top, there's just going to be a tiny little bit here. You see I'm cutting on the inside there a good 1/8 of an inch. Alright, I'll just put this on top here just to check it, make sure I'm not going to be able to see. I can see that I can see a little bit on the sides here. So I'm just going to go back in there. I'm going to trim just a little bit more. That should do it. There we go. That looks good. Okay, don't throw this piece away because we're going to use that to do the pop-up for this bit here. I'll do the same thing here. I'm going to trace around the outside. And you know what we didn't do? We didn't sponge around the outside edge of this. Where did my little sponge dauber go? I've still got, I think I still probably have, maybe not. I don't have enough ink in there. I'll have to ink that up some more. Oh well, let's continue on with this for now. And so now I'm going to cut inside this heart. Just like on the other. Good 1/8 of an inch away from that cut line, except this time we're cutting on the inside. And we're cutting a piece out from the inside. We'll check that, make sure that fits behind my heart, and that looks good to me. Let's get that balmy blue ink back in here. And you know what? I want to sponge around here too. Let's do that too. Here I thought I had all the inky bits done already. So we just sponge all around the outside here. And I'm going in a little bit in places just to give it that shabby chic kind of look to it. And we're going to do the same on this, all around the edges. Oh, I wanted to show you on my original card. You know, I think this would be easier just to go like this. Yeah, this is so much easier. I wanted to show you on the original card. Around the outside here, you see these little bits of red? That's a little design element to camouflage the fact that I got these two little bits into my lovely lipstick ink pad. So then I just added a couple more little just right to the ink pad. So now it looks like I meant to do that, but I didn't really. Just a little tip to if you make a mistake, all is not lost. You just say, I meant to do that. Now, I have cats. Cats are so cool. They try to jump up on something and they miss and fall down. They just sit there and say, ah, I meant to do that. We all need to take a little tip from cats. They don't ever make mistakes. They meant to do it. And that's what we'll do. Okay, there we go. Whew. Now I think we can put the card together. Let me wipe up this mess I made. And I'll bring in this bit. It's our card front, our card base. The next thing that goes down will be our silvery lace. I'm just going to take my designer's Dries clear glue all around that nice wide bit there that we have. And get that centered nicely on the card. There. Yeah, that looks good. The next piece is this piece. A nice amount of the glue on there because this is textured. And we'll center that inside our nice little shiny lace. Then the next piece will be this with the foam. So let's get some glue on that foam. Glue that to the back of this part. And we'll make sure that it's not going to show on the front here. I'm just going to tuck some pieces over like that. Okay, turn it over just to make sure. Take a good look, okay, before the glue dries. And then we can put this piece on. So, lots of glue on there. And that gets centered. Okay, just press that in place because it's going over all kinds of texture. Alright, looking good so far. And we'll do the same thing here with this heart. And a bit more glue on this side of the foam. And that gets centered. And again, you want to press that down pretty good. Now we're ready to put our leaves and our flowers, and then I have my whole pile of little heart cutouts here. We can put those all around on the card. So we'll put the leaves down first. I like these little curly cues. Did I tell you that before? Well, I really like them. So let's put some glue on the back here. I'm just putting it on the center part. I'm not gluing up the whole thing. Just want to make sure our leaves don't extend out past the edge of the card as we're putting these on. And let's see. Oh, this one has a little tear in it. Let's see, I think I'll put that one there like that. So I'll put glue on the back here. And right there where it's torn, I'm gonna get that good with the glue. So we'll put those leaves like so on the front. I'll have to make sure I put a flower right there. That will cover it up. Or a heart. I could put a heart there. We'll see what happens. So some glue on the back of this one. And right there. And again, just make sure that you don't come off the sides here. Okay, so now we can put the flowers on. I'll put my big one on first. I want that one right here, right about here. Just press that. Get down there. There we go. Put another flower up here like this. And this one I want over here. This one's kind of standoffish. It's not going to be next to the other two. It's going to stand off all by itself over here. And again, I used 3 of each of these. 3 sets of leaves, 3 flowers. And now we're ready to put some hearts on. I'm going to use my take your pick tool, and it's got this sticky end here. I'm going to use that to help me put my flowers or my hearts in place. So I know I want one right there where that little curly Q viney thing is. So I'm going to put one right there. And let's see, where else do we want them? I think one up here, maybe a smaller one there. Another one up here maybe. Oh, let's see. Want to go real small? Medium small. And you want them to be tilted a little bit this way or a little bit that way. I think I'll put a little tiny one up top here. And let's see, maybe one down here. This isn't going to be exactly like my other card, but that's okay, because who wants to do the same card over and over again? Oh, get there. Stick there. I even put that one under a little curly Q thing. And then we'll need some over here, maybe one here, and I think one here. I'll put one of the medium ones there. And a big one here. And let's see, we need a couple here, I think. I think I'll just put one up here. Put one of the large ones there. And right on top of the viney thing, I'm going to put one. And then our card will be finished. Ta-da! So, if you've liked this video, then be sure to hit that like button down below. I do check those things. And if you have any questions or comments, then please leave those below too. If you have a question, I'll do my best to answer it. And I do get back to people pretty quickly, if I do say so myself. Usually within 24 hours anyway. And if there are any Stampin' Up! Products that you'd like to purchase, you can do that either through my Facebook page or my blog, and that will automatically take you to the Stampin' Up! Website and have me as your demonstrator if you're in the US. And that's about it. Oh, and as always, I'll have all the materials I use listed down below. So y'all take care, stay safe, and happy stamping.